This is MaSunGoddess777. Where I'm at, it's in the morning, 8:06 a.m. Greetings to you. Greetings, greetings. Greetings, everyone. I'm just gonna get up here real quick and talk about what's is being forecasted and how we think and how we might not realize that we can affect the weather by how we think. And everything is now talking about ice and ice this and ice that, and ice is coming, and ice with the immigrants, and it just, remind me of ISIS. So greetings to everyone. Get in here. This is MaSunGoddess777 coming at you live in this grand rising. I'm not going to say morning. I'm going to say the grand rising. Talking about all this ice. Ice is coming, and we're going to talk about the ice, pursuing the immigrants, and then it's ISIS. So get in here. Greetings to everyone. I'm not going to say good morning. I'm going to say grand rising. I hope all is well. I hope nobody's in fear. If you're in what they predict as the eye of the ice storm, as I said just a few seconds ago, we may not realize that how we think and what we say, we can affect the weather. I don't know if y'all know that, but if we got some people out here that know anything about that, I ask that they connect with me as far as the meditation of, affecting the weather, as far as, your grounding and how you speak and the things that you meditate on, as far as how you want the weather to go. I've done this before. It's nothing new. A few years ago, it was a storm coming in the area that I was in. And what I did was I did like some meditations, and I did like some rituals and stuff like that. And I noticed that it didn't even come. And it was predicted to be like a pretty bad storm coming in the direction that I was in. And I've done this several times. Where I'm at now, when it rains, it feels like the bottom is falling out. And it doesn't take very long for it to flood. But it's been several times when it has started raining, and I had actually, pretty much said I wanted it to stop. And I thought about it stopping, and it stopped. And this happened recently. And it happened a lot in July, that it happened also, where it was like really supposed to be bad weather coming, and I just did some meditations, and I think it was other people probably doing it too, because I'm pretty sure we got some of those people out here that know about meditating and actually being able to actually affect the weather. So when they forecast, a lot of times they're wanting you to believe what they're forecasting when they're forecasting and stuff. Yeah, they have the CERN, and they have the weather control tools that they really don't know what they're doing. A lot of times those are tools that was left here by our highly advanced ancestors, and they got a hold of it and have been playing around, opening up portals and stuff and playing with the weather. But at the same time, we have the technology within us to affect the weather also. When they forecast the weather, we don't have to, believe it or buy into it, Like, I can forecast right now that Monday you're gonna go to the mall and buy a bread dress for your mother. Or I could forecast that, okay, you're gonna make a certain type of grade in school. Just because I forecast something doesn't mean you have to buy into it, because we have the power to make the forecast come true by us, bringing it to pass, as far as talking about it, believing it, and also being in fear too does that. It gives stuff energy to come to pass. And it looks like they're testing out Oklahoma, Texas, and those areas with this test they're doing or whatever. Like, I guess testing out the reset, because we're having a lot of solar flares going on at this time. And before I even knew anything about the solar flares, before I even knew anything about the ice storm, I had a feeling. I was like, something is happening. Like, something is going on. Then I heard about the ice storm coming. I was like, oh yeah, it must be like some serious solar flares, serious resets going on for them to be bringing all this ice stuff, because this is not normal. It's the area I'm in is a tropical area. Doesn't even supposed to be cold, much less ice. So and they done this here before. And a lot of times, it's time to, just in case, it doesn't take a lot of money to get prepared. And people say, oh, well, I've been prepping and this and that. But some people haven't been prepping, but it's not too late to, get you some things like just some canned goods. And it doesn't take a lot of money. Get the water, fill your water up, because in some areas of Texas and those other areas, the water, there's unstable water. And when the tornado came, like a few years ago, not too terribly long ago, the power went out. So there's a chance of that. So you want to have you some candles, and you want to have some flashlights. You want to have your food where you got it in like a freezer where it'll last, but you don't want to be grilling on the inside, because you don't want to risk carbon monoxide poisoning. But there are ways to stay warm, and charging your phone. If you don't have like a solar charger, you can actually charge it in your car. If you don't have a vehicle, you need to go ahead and charge your phones just in case now, so you can charge your devices ahead of time and turn them off and stuff, so you can preserve the power. And I know they were saying that in these places where they're predicting that the ice storm is going to hit really bad, they got warming centers and stuff like that. I know they had the same type of centers during the tornado when it was really hot and the electricity went out. We need to check on our elderly people if we can, the ones that's living alone. And I know it's a lot of our elderly people that's living alone. Even our younger people. Like, we don't call people like we used to. Some of our people we have fell apart with, where we can't even call, sadly. Where you can't, it's sad that you can't call, because it's not us communication, not effective communication. But the people that I may not be calling, I am sending out protection to you and healing, and may you be safe, because I love all of my people. I love all of them. Even the people that I don't even talk, like the people that I don't talk to on a daily basis, or I don't even talk to anymore. Be it that they don't want to talk to me, because some people, they don't want to talk to you. Like with, I don't know what the situation is, but with the lady, Yanila, I heard her grandson doesn't want her to come to her daughter's passing, and that's really sad. I don't know the story, because it's what they say, it's three sides, but that's a really sad situation that I don't know how I would handle something like that. But that's life be life, and sometimes you can get up here and do a lot of great works, and it be a lot of stuff going on in people's personal lives. We have a lot of trauma. We have a lot of mental illness and stuff in our not just our communities, but it's all walks of life, all people of all different groups. But me personally, from dealing with, the people that I deal with as far as family members, relationships and stuff, it's a lot of trauma. It's a lot of stuff, you got to let go and forgive. But then some people, once you get over stuff, you're not able to keep a relationship going with them because they haven't grown, or they're still in that place, and you don't want to open yourself up to those type of those type of energies and stuff like that, as far as people being very, verbally abusive, and it just that energy. You don't want to fight all your, you don't I don't want to fight people all my life. Like I used to tell people, I'm a lover, not a fighter. So all of that competition and battling and partiality, and you want one per group to do better than the other group, and you got your picks that you favor. I'm not dealing with that. Like I seen that growing up. I seen that from the church to the family to relationships, the colorism, the picking and favoritism, and they want one group to make it and the other group to fail. And when they ask you, are you doing okay? It's not because they're concerned, it's because they want to hear some bad news. So I don't talk to some people because I don't think that I should have to. I love them and I don't have nothing against them. I have let a lot of things go, but it's just the conversations are always like, I'm waiting to hear something bad, and I'm not. Why should I talk to somebody that's when I talk to them, they want to hear some bad news? So no. But I still send love and all of that. Like I said, it's time to deal with the people that you can deal with. We're having a reset. It's a shift happening. If you can work with family, then that's good. But if you can't, then you need to find people that you can work with, because you can't be out here alone. It's no fun. It doesn't feel good just to be all by yourself. I'm hoping that people can connect with people that they can, build with and work with, and it doesn't have to be blood all the time. If sometimes your blood relatives are not the best people for you to be building with. You might have to find your soul tribe, your unconditional love tribe. That's fine, but I'm just saying, be light as a feather. Don't have anything in your heart against people. Some things is hard to get over. Some things is hard to let go. Some things is hard to heal from. But we're at a time where you have to be light as a feather. We're going from the Aquarian, the Piscean area to the Aquarian area, where we're going from water to air. And we have to be light as a feather. We have to not be an ego. We have to stand still, like it said, and see the salvation of Big Mama, of Righteous Father Spirit, of the Son, of the daughter, of the ancestors that love us unconditionally. It's not a time to be sitting in grief and anger and bitterness and resentment. It's time to try to heal and be restored, because there's a reset happening. This is a test. There's a lot of energies coming through that we need to be absorbing. It's a lot of trauma that we need to be getting out of our bodies by doing our breathing exercises. Breathing in with your tongue at the tip of your mouth and holding it for a few seconds and releasing it. Doing the qigong and beating on your body, working out that stale energy out of your spine so you can get that kundalini energy flowing through, letting things go. Tapping into that Shiva and Shakti energy, balancing out the feminine and masculine, the right and the left side, letting go of the material, and pursuing the spiritual things. And going within, not looking, even when you're doing your spiritual stuff, you're not looking for nothing outside of yourself, because it's all within. Going within, working on your ego, working on your heart chakras, working on your solar plexus, your sacral chakras, your root chakra, your crown chakras, not just the third eye, but that crown, connecting that womb, the sacral chakra, connecting that to the crown chakra, balancing that out, healing your womb, healing it by massaging your getting that energy out of your breast and your womb by, massaging under your stomach and stuff like that, and loving yourself, showing yourself love and care, and just Forgiving yourself. Looking in the mirror, telling yourself that you love yourself and knowing that you're going to be okay. You're going to make it. You made it through. Don't give up on yourself now. You made it through so many other things, and you're definitely going to make it through this. You're definitely going to make it through this. Definitely. I want to talk about uh, the battle between Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb. I think they both are full of sugar honey iced tea, but I think he came for the guy Corey. Even though Corey, I heard him say things terrible about his own daughter, so you know he don't care about nobody else's. So I don't think that the guy studied. I don't think Mr. Potato Head studied him at all, because had he studied him, he would have known that he would have known he might go low, but that man gonna take it to hell. He gonna take it straight to hell. So all this about, oh, I'm gonna sue, and I'm care about my daughter and this and that. He never once mentioned about his wife, or he didn't even defend the alleged side chick. So he's full. I think there are two faces of the same coin. One is professing to be a Christian, and honestly, Christians don't have a very good reputation in my book for a long time. Because I grew up as a Christian, and I saw a lot of things that was done that I didn't think that was very godly. Like, so I don't. They say, oh, he's not acting like a Christian. Yeah, those Christians do a lot of stuff. So I am not gonna say that, because they'll say they love God and they a family man, and then you see all this other stuff going on and the way they talk to people, and it's just a mess all throughout. So I don't. When somebody say they're a Christian, I side eye them, honestly. And I know some good Christian people, but I know some really, really dirty ones too. So yeah, I don't. It don't impress me when somebody tell me they got there in a religion, because I'm looking at your character and your actions more so than what you tell me that you worshiping, because it's all within. It's about the character within, and the fruits that you bear. Y'all support Mayan's Temple of Healing and Unconditional Love. This is MaSunGoddess777. So yeah, it's just a lot going on with relationships. You see the lady is really sad that the lady Clarissa Shields, I think the lady has a mind of a child, but I really admire her boxing skill. But as far as dealing with the public, I think she don't really know how to do that. And it would look like they would have her a PR person, but maybe this is the plan. You never know, like, because desperate times call for desperate measures, and when people need money, sometimes they'll do anything. And a lot of people from the city, they're used to living a certain lifestyle. It's expensive to live in New York and all these places, so they gotta. I feel like, and that's everywhere though. But people, a lot of times, so they call them the city slickers. They feel like they gotta get how they live, and that's not all city people. You got a lot of slickers in the South too. I done met some. So you got city slickers and country slickers all over, but you just have to, you got to be aware that men are smart. Not they smart when it comes to survival mode. They dumb when it comes to other stuff, and they don't realize that what goes around comes around. But when it comes to survival, a man will definitely kissy to make sure he all right. And you got women that do it too, but a lot of times these women fall in love and they let that sperm get in their brain and mess them up. When these men, a lot of them got a one-track mind. A man can be in love with a woman and not even be with her, and be done pursued another woman, and he's still in love with that other woman, and he got a one-track mind of how he trying to survive. So that's all I wanted to say on that. And you got the thing with the ICE and the Black Panthers and the fake Black Panthers, and then they helping the Samoans, but they said it wasn't helping the Black Americans and stuff. And they got a lot of agents and characters that's popping up now. it's sad if they're really messing with people that's innocent and not doing anything illegal. But at the same time, you know, if you get in those people's way, they're gonna do what they have to do. You know, you gotta make sure at the end of the day, if you standing up for somebody else, you gotta make sure you, like I said, self love. You can't sacrifice shit. If you want to be a sacrifice, it look like now. You know what I'm saying? They letting you know like they it's not just that it's anybody can get it. So it's you just gotta look out for yourself and love yourself and think about, is it really worth it? You know, is it really worth it? And you know, I don't know. So just have to be, you know, aware and have discernment, and you don't want to be a poster child for a sacrifice of getting in the way of these forces now and trying to enforce whatever they trying to enforce. And you know, you have to protect yourself and just use discernment. And I think about that movie, the Ice People and the Game of Thrones and the Ice Wall, and yeah, it's not normal to be this cold in these nowhere. They created this cold weather. We supposed to have warm. This is a paradise over here in the Americas, especially these tropical areas that these areas where I'm at. It is not supposed to be cold. It's not supposed to be all this ice weather going on. It's not supposed to be freezing. Let's go back to the paradise. Let's go back to the tropical weather. Let's go back to walking outside, and we got all our grocery stores right in the yard where we can eat off the trees and eat off the land. That's what they said. That's what our yards were, grocery stores. But they said when they colonized the area, that made it into the lawn got to be mowed. But we didn't have no lawns. We had food in our yard. We had the female fruit trees, because I researched this. When they entered the area where I'm from, they cut down 300 female fruit trees. So we got to go back to the paradise that this place was, y'all. We got to go back. We got to come together with the like-minded people and clean up our water and clean up our air and plant our fruits and our female fruit trees and our vegetables and our herbs, the healing herbs and stuff. We got to have our grocery store in our yard again. We got to go. This is it, America. This is paradise. Don't supposed to be no freezing weather. You know, supposed to be no trash can ghetto like they have turned it into. They've turned our heaven on earth into a freaking ghetto trash can. It's time to put a stop. It's time to end this. It's time to end. So when it comes back to us, we got less work to do. It's time to let all this stuff go. These grocery stores and this geoengineered food and figure it out. Figure it out, because it's enough is enough. Enough is enough. And it's the awakening is here. The reset is here. The awakening is here. And the more they say the dragon mother is waking up. The dragons are waking up. Maybe that's why they freezing it too, to keep them from moving too much. I don't know what they say. Leviathan and King Kong, and King Kong was based off of that, huh? So I think we need to go out there and just ground today and connect with the earth and call on our ancient ancestors to bring some heat to combat this freeze, y'all. Well, this has been MaSunGoddess777. I'm not going to be up here long. Have I talked about everything I needed to talk about? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I said, this freezing is not supposed to be happening. I know they are playing with the weather. They're doing their little weather control stuff and trying to freeze these areas for a reason, because it's such energy that's going on from the solar flares. I think the last time it happened, and then we coming up on the 250 years, and also these solar flares are rare solar flares that's been going on. And it's a lot. January is a magnificent month. It's a lot of spiritual and cosmic things going on in January. It may not be the real New Year, But it's a lot of energy going on in January and July. I've seen a lot of stuff in July. Yeah. So I know y'all coming up here to see my beautiful face, but I'm not. You could. I look just like that picture that I got up here. But yeah, support Maya's temple of healing and unconditional love. Everybody check on your loved ones, and you know the people that you can talk to. If you can't, get somebody else. If you can't talk to them because they're mentally ill and possessed and not carrying on a good conversation, and you got love for them, which you should, get somebody else to check on them. That's what I do. I get somebody else to check on them. And you know, if as much as I possibly can. I can't save everybody, but if I can't check on them, I'll send out some energy to them, some love and protection and healing and all of that. I don't send no bad energy out. Then if somebody mess with me, then I gotta protect myself. You know, if they send this stuff my way, then you know I have to protect myself. But at the same time, make sure you got you some candles, some canned goods. Make sure you got your devices charged up. You got a car, got you some little gas, because you know that as soon as they start predicting these storms, the food prices go up, the gas go up. They capitalizing off of these storms too, you know. So, you know, they made their money off of raising the prices of the milk and the bread and the meat and the geoengineered stuff they got in these stores. Everybody, you know, try to pull together as much as you can. Check on each other. Do the best you can. We're going to make it. Let's meditate that this is not even going to happen. But we still need to be prepared just in case. If you need to stay warm, your lights go out. They say they got in the areas where it's mainly being forecasted, they say they got warming centers. If you got, a lot of people don't have generators and stuff like that. Don't be cold. Don't freeze. If whatever you gotta do, don't be. If you gotta layer your clothes and you know you gotta wash these candles and stuff like that when you burn it in. But if you gotta put on a lot of clothes and shut off one room if the electricity go out, you can put on a layer your clothing, put the blankets or sheets up to your windows or whatever. If it's air coming in, close off one room and everybody gather up in one room. Make sure you got layered clothing and stuff on. And then with your food going bad, if you got food that would go bad, you know the freezer, it'll last in the freezer for 28 to 48 hours. If you put stuff in the freezer and you want stuff that you can eat that maybe is non-perishable, like canned stuff and things like that, different things like that, and you know, peanut butter, jelly, and canned goods and whatnot. Flashlights, candles. It's not really expensive stuff. And if you don't have heat, if your electricity will go out, they do have warming centers in these areas where you can go and get warm, where you won't freeze. And from my understanding, from me outreaching with them the last time when the tornado came and the electricity was out, they will come and pick people up too, I think. If you can't get, you know, like some of the elderly people and some of the people that don't have transportation, some of these warming centers, and they had cooling centers during the summer, not this summer, but when that tornado hit, they had the cooling centers. But they will come and pick you up. You know, they will definitely come and pick you up if you cannot get to them. So you can be warm. You don't have to freeze. And I'm pretty sure that they have places where you can get like you can get food during these times too. I'm pretty sure they got like the number you can go. Is it 311? You can call and they will tell you about the heating centers. They'll tell you about the places where you can get like even hot food, like soup kitchens and stuff. Cause people struggling. Some people struggling there during this. As a matter of fact, a lot of people lost jobs. People have lost jobs, and see, it's a lot of people that's losing jobs and stuff now that they not used to being in this situation. Like some groups of people have been used to like being like having to be like without and pull themselves up from the bootstraps. Some groups of people is not used to that. They really never experienced this type of stuff. So you ought to look at the what is it, the indigenous black people. They've been telling us to pull yourself up by the. It's been times when I have gotten fired from job. That's why I don't put my trust in the job market for a long time. I done been to college. I got like a couple of degrees. I've been to trade school, honey. I've been to school so much. It's my name should be school. Some people call me doctor. So I've noticed that there's no of all the education you can get, all the trades you can learn, all the tech this and tech that. Like even now with me learning about tech and AI, I know a lot about that. I try to make it so I'm entrepreneur with that. Even if I work for a company, I still want to be able to fall back on my own skills, because you never put your trust in somebody that's when you working for somebody. For instance, everybody talking about Mr. Tenderism. It's a bunch of Mr. Tenderisms around here. We don't think so. It might not be packaged like that where we like, yeah, I love you. And when I met him, he gave me everything. It may not be that same package. But if you working for somebody and you don't own nothing, then you really are low-key Mr. Tenderism. But we were worried about him, like, he gonna be all right. He happy with what he got going on. But we got to think about the future. We need to have something to leave these other generations. If it's nothing but a piece of something, even if it's just intellectual property, where you done put that into a situation where you can pass it down. Something. We need to be thinking about like we got a lot of creative people that people have benefited and trademarked even our stuff, our ideas, like on these jobs and stuff. Like, think about it. Think about it. You just as creative as Mr. Tenderism. You have actually, I know me single-handedly, I have actually put these companies on just from going to school. I was taught, go to school, get an education, and be a good Christian, and everything gonna work out. Hell no, that don't work. It never did. They forgot about one thing, that we living in America, and America don't favor you too much if you not a Uncle Tom, a kiss ass, or you got a certain skin color. Sometimes you ain't tap dancing and doing what. If you a person that, I learned that if you a woman in America, the U.S., and you're not gonna sleep your way to the top, most of these jobs, shit. It don't matter how I've worked in jobs that was hard as far as mentally, and it paid really well. But you always got where if you, I didn't. I'm thinking. I used to think that if I did right and I did it the right way, the way it's been with now is changing because of the energy of the Piscean area going. You gotta sleep. The way it was during the times when I was out here getting it. If you didn't do certain things and kiss ass and get with certain groups and then with certain crowds, and if somebody high powered this and that wanted to talk to you and you turn them down, you ain't getting but so far if you ain't gonna do certain things. So yeah, all that, yeah, that's schooling and all that and that. No, if you a person like me that is straight up, and I don't, I can laugh and joke, but if I don't want to sleep with you, I'm not gonna sleep with you just because you paying me and this and that. No, you wouldn't have got too far in that other area. So they'll tell you, oh, you can go to school and this and that, and it's going to work. If you don't know somebody, your family ain't running a company. They didn't tell us that when we got them college degrees, we needed our families or a friend of the family to have a freaking company that we could go and work to, okay? Because them kids, come to find out, Chad and Elizabeth and them, when they get their degrees, their families and stuff is connected to the point where they're going to take them degrees and go in companies with their families on, or somebody that know their families, they're connected in. They're well connected in and stuff like that. But if you're not connected in like that, you ain't doing certain things. It's just like the music industry. I thought it was just the music industry. Oh no, that's in the organizations in general. It's a hierarchy where if you're not in with certain groups and you're not doing certain things, it's all the same people. It's go from the church house to the job force and all that, honey. They over everything. They gatekeeping. You gotta sell out some kind of way. And yeah, we might talk about Mr. Tenderism, but low key, we all are creative and we all are powering these companies and these organizations. And I'm not saying, well, you go out here and quit your job so you won't be Uncle Tom. No, I'm saying that we have to go within and realize, like, what can I do to make myself an owner of something? Even if you don't have land and all this and that, it's some creativity that you got, something that you can do that nobody else can do. And you really need to trademark that. You need to trademark yourself. You need to trademark and patent yourself, because it's enough of us being the energy and the currency for somebody else to make generational wealth and to power somebody else's organization forever. I mean, you might can't just do it overnight, but it's time to go within and start being creative to the point where we're benefiting from it. You know, even like look at rap music. Look at rap. It's no way in the world that no other culture should be benefiting off of that. And that was created. That was created by us. Our blood, sweat, and tears in New York, in Brooklyn. The blood, sweat, and tears. Even the rap, the tap tap. You know how them guys were rapping, tap tap, and all that music that they created. It's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, people have been benefiting off of certain people's creativity for far too long. It's time to put a stop to it. Sometimes it's not even good to and you gotta know your worth. You gotta love yourself and know your value, because just like we look at Mr. Tenderism, he's like, oh, well, this is my friend. That's how a lot of our people have been. And low key, we might not be like exactly like that. But when we get a paycheck, we thinking, well, dang, I'm glad to have this job. It's good to be grateful, but think about all the time and the energy that you are putting into that company. That paycheck is good and pay these little bills and stuff like. But that's the minimum. Like, there, you're not getting paid what you're worth, by no means. And they sitting back, not doing the work. Just like right now. If I'm running something, I'm going to go in and show them how to do it. And I'm going to do the work for a little while. But if I own it, I'm going to go ahead and pass that off to somebody else and pay them. And now you guys is so where when you call to pay a bill, you got operators answering the phone. They're not even from this country. And you know why? Because they can contract out and pay them a few dollars an hour to answer the phones and stuff, and they're happy to get that, because in those other countries they're really not. They think like $5 or $6 an hour is a lot of money, so they're sitting back, the owner, and they're saving a lot of money by hiring these people that you can't even hardly understand. You're like, what did you? I'm like, what? But they saving money, so they contracting out. So that's how the game goes, capitalism. The owners is everything in this country benefits the owners, the third party creditors, the corporations. This USA is a corporation, and everything is benefiting the corporate. That's what I'm saying. Even with people don't understand how Jay-Z went to court and didn't have to take a DNA test, right? They think that Jay-Z got some type of power, or Beyonce is in a room doing some kind of Oshun ritual. No. Let me tell you, I study this stuff. The law benefits the wealthy patriarchal man. The way the law is set up, it's not going to hurt the people that's a corporation. And Jay-Z fits into that category of being a corporation. Because all throughout time, wealthy men that was in corporations, or they are the corporation, have had babies with poor women. So For them to be protected, for their assets and their wealth to be protected, the laws have been set up to favor the corporation and the man and the patriarchal man that has all these assets. If they were able to go to court and sue all these rich men for being their child's father, there wouldn't be no more freaking corporations. It wouldn't be no more assets. They would be able to take, because it's so many children that's bastard and illegitimate out here. Think about it. If the man says, if he's wealthy, if that man is wealthy and he has assets and he's in a corporation, he has investors and stuff like that, he can make a child and he can say, I'm not going to take a test. If that woman don't have the backing and the power and the money to take him to court to make him take a paternity test, like that lady did Drake, the reason why she had the money because she was a very famous porn star. It takes a lot of money to do that. It takes a good ass attorney to do that. You got to study contract law. You got to study. It's not about what you can even. It's not about being guilty or innocent. It's about what you can prove. And not only that, it's about having the money to get these motherfuckers in the court in front of a judge. Because if you don't have the power and the money, you can't even keep paying an attorney for the sue and to get these DNA tests for these high-powered people if they say that they're not going to take it and they keep saying they're not the father. Because, you got some men that'll be like, yeah, that's my baby, blah, blah, blah. But if they say they're not the father, you got to sue them. Like what's happening with Stephon Diggs. The lady dropped it because the DNA test proved that he is the father. But she had to probably pay. She had to sue him, make him pay her attorney fees. It's a way you can do it. But come on, a lot of people don't know how to do that. You can sue them and make them take a paternity. But in Jay-Z case, I guess it's such an old case, and the way the law is set up, they're not making him submit. Yeah, it's cases like that, and it can be done. Like what needs to be done though. In a case like that, what that boy can do in his guardian, they can sue him in civil court. So if you sue somebody in civil court and it get to the part of discovery and you actually have receipts to prove that, yes, my mother was here at this specific time. He was in this part of DC. See, discovery will fuck a lot of... See, I know, I be in this. I be up in this stuff. I have handled a few cases. One case was a distribution of property where it was a really weird situation. And we had to hire private investigators and all that. But the wife thought she was so smart, but she was really dumb. She didn't know the laws. See, once you know the laws and stuff, see, I don't just talk. I know the laws and stuff. And it's good to know, because when you actually trying to do something, like what you can do, what you can't do, and how to get people do not study and they do not read. So when you go to discovery, that's what people are scared of. People with shit to lose, they scared of discovery. They really don't think you're gonna take it there though. If you ever go to court and they don't want to pay, and you be like, okay, I'm gonna litigate, and you got the money to litigate, and actually sometimes you don't have to have the money to litigate something. It can be included in like a case where somebody's at fault. So eventually they're gonna fold because they don't want to litigate, because then when you start litigating and going to discovery, that's a lot of money, and then they got to end up paying more money, and then if they ain't got their shit together, when you go in discovery, everything gonna come out. I'm talking about every detail, nook and cranny. So the best thing for Jay-Z, I think that's his son, the best thing for him to do would be able to sue him in civil court. Once he get in civil court and they start going through litigation and discovery, and he can prove that he was at this date, this time, around it's other ways to do that. Yeah. Because you can't get over on the law, but there are ways around those rich people with a lot of assets that think that they're so smart and they can like get over on the law and ain't gotta be accountable and responsible. It's ways. It's more than one way. It's more than one way to skin a cat. It's more than one way, but you have to study and you have to know the law. You got to know that most of your music producers, let me tell you, most of your wizards, they really witches. All these wizards and witches that's running everything and the small hats and all, these people are attorneys. They're contract attorneys and they're criminal attorneys. And you know what benefit that gives them? They know how to draw up contracts and they know how to make it favor themselves. And that's what a lot of our lawmakers are. Those people are attorneys first. They're attorneys, and even if they're not attorneys, they've been under an attorney and know the contract. They know the Black's Law book. They know the criminal. They know a lot of the regular people don't know these laws, so they draw up these contracts. And a lot of times it's to benefit them, and it'll never benefit the person that's signing it. And that's why it's good to start knowing this stuff. You know, they know about they know how to get you in a 360 deal. They know how to get you in a thing where they're if you don't do this and that, eventually you lose your rights and stuff. That's why you could get a lawyer to look over, but it's good for you to know how to look over your stuff. And we are in such a time as we are now where we got Chat GPT plus. You know, you can any contract you get now, you can put it in there, and it's gonna decipher it for you. But it's good to know. Don't just depend on that either. Don't just depend on that either, because if you use it in some of them versions, they have hallucinogens. Some of the free versions, but the free version is okay. But you know, you can get advanced with your stuff when you're doing the paid versions. But at the same time, you need to be studying contract laws and criminal laws. Anything you get into, there's a way out. You just have to be willing to read. You have to be willing to study and read. And the best thing I learned from going to college was how to cite and look at credible sources. I know how to decipher whether somebody's writings are full of shit or just. And then if you're looking at somebody's material and you want to know, like, about their writing and their attitude, you look at the character that wrote the book. You kind of get to know their personality. Like, you go back and study this person and get to know their personality, and that'll let you know, like, a lot of times too, is this a credible source? And you compare it to other stuff. You compare it to other sources, and you can really decipher, like, well, is this? Do I really want to go along with this, or along with what your discernment tells you and your knowledge tells you? But it's good to study. It's good to research and know stuff like that. It really is. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Hey, Serene. Ultra Instinct, it's been a long time. Hey, guys. Now, you better not put all your eggs in one basket. It's crazy. Y'all be, like I said, if you in the eye of this ice storm, meditate so it won't go. But if you just so happen to get in it, make sure that you are aware of the warming centers. Don't sit nowhere and freeze and let your pride keep you hungry. And also layer your clothing. Don't be out here in this cold and ice and all this kind of stuff. Check on your elderly people. And don't feel like you gotta be alone and just it's places, it's warming centers. You can call 311 if you don't have to spend a lot of money to get some candles and get you some canned goods. You can get some stuff at a Dollar Tree. It's not $1 anymore. I'm gonna warn you, not even $1 anymore. It's done went up. I went in there recently. They got an aisle that's like $5 aisle in the Dollar Tree. Not even $1 anymore. But it's still cheap. When you look at it, it's still cheap. Have anybody heard anything about they have digitized our money? I heard something like that. I don't know if it's true. They say they have digitized our money. Trump passed something to make all the money digital. I recently heard something like that. What y'all think about that beef, that battle between Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb? What y'all think about the ICE, what they doing in Minnesota, Don Lemon and all that, and what's going on with ICE, and every time you turn around there, they talk about the ISIS coming. It made me think about ISIS. I don't know. But I know it's not supposed to be cold at all. This is some weather controlled, some weather tempering. It's supposed to be where, especially where I'm at, even in the South, it's supposed to be warm weather. I'm in a tropical area. It is not supposed to be no freezing going on. Right, right. Hey, what about the silver? They talk about they said they over there in Venezuela really trying to get that silver. Say it's not even really about the oil, it's about the silver. Because when the banks, China's got a lot of silver over the time frame where they had failed, and now they, got their little economy together. They ain't got no little economy. They got a big economy. But they said our country, the U.S. was writing out silver notes or something like that, silver certificates, but it really didn't have the silver. So when the year ended, around December the 27th, if when it came due or whatever, they didn't have the silver. So that's what this all about. They had to go get some silver because they had silver certificates, but had no silver to show for it. And a lot of the silver was in Venezuela. That's what I heard. Said they had silver notes, but not actually silver silver certificates over here. Well, what about the solar flares? They said we got some serious solar flares. But January is a real active month. January and July. It's a lot of cosmic and spiritual stuff going on in July and January. They said I believe that's what they trying to freeze. They trying to freeze these dragons. Yeah, he said that. Asir did say that. Asir the Duke of Tears. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that too. I looked at him on the Black Magic 363, and I saw his I saw the video he did. Yeah, he said China had the world silver, and then the U.S. was just doing the certificates. Yeah, but did you hear about them talking about the dragons is waking up? They said the dragons are waking up. That's what's causing a lot of this earthquakes and all this stuff. And I believe that's got something to do with this freeze too. I believe it. I believe it. A lot of people surprised. They like, there ain't no such thing as dragons. All that myth stuff they've been talking about is real. Yeah, so I believe that's what that freezing about in these solar flares. When I heard them talking about it was gonna freeze in Oklahoma, Texas, and these other places, I was like, oh yeah, because Texas is closer to the equator now, and of the U.S. cities, Texas is closer to the equator. Yeah, Revelations, Leviathan. That's what they taught. They said that already happened. That great old dragon, and they said that was our mother. But they say it's like 13 dragons. But they said the dragon that Revelation is talking about is when they slayed Tiamat, our mother. When Yahweh slayed her. Yahweh. Yakub. Yahweh. Yeah. But I guess by the times changing, the dragons are I guess they're becoming unfrozen. I don't think they can kill them, but they can put them to sleep. Hey, no, don't put your eggs in one basket, just like Mr. Tenderism. I said, shoot, low key, we got. I know in the South, you see people like that. They don't know no better. But then we working for these companies and stuff like that. Giving them all our creativity. We low key Mr. Tenderism too. These people own everything. And we don't own nothing, sometimes. Yeah, I ain't mad. Yeah, I want them to wake up. I be grounded every day. I want them to wake up. I'm tired of this. I mean, this is paradise, but they have turned this into what they have turned this into because they know it's got to return back to the originals. So, yeah, this is a paradise, and it's time for it to go back to its original owners, and it's time for it to go back to its original frequency of paradise. Yeah, it's time. It's time. It's time to go up in frequency and this, we leaving this low vibrational 3D, and I'm glad. I'm tired. I'm tired of the same. I'm tired. I don't want to be in this loop. I don't want to be in these cycles. I don't. I'm tired of it. Yeah, it's like we done did this so long and so many times. But we tired now. Yep, we're tired. I'm not mad. Wake them up. Yep. What you say? Tear this? Yeah, they're gonna tear it up because they know it don't supposed to be at the state and the level that it's in. What it's gonna happen is they don't wanna. They don't wanna. They know that once that they wake up, and once we wake up, they gotta go. They don't supposed to be here because they're not. They're not original to this earth. So they just trying to keep us in another time frame and a time loop so they can buy more time with all this cold weather and the freezing and all this talk about the World War III. That mess done happened. Just go ahead on with you. Just go. Just go. Just go. But they not gonna go. They not gonna go in peace. So, the dragons gonna have to do their thing. Yeah, they not gonna go in peace. Yeah, me too. Like it's I know it's something better. My soul is tired. Like my soul is tired. I'm like, I mean, I be like, dang, I wish I could just go without eating. I be trying to go without eating, but then this flesh get hungry. It's a lot. Like you gotta feed this flesh. It's just, yeah. I mean, I love the body. Don't get me wrong. I love this avatar. I try to take care of it and stuff like that. But I mean, I love it. I ain't gonna say I got nothing against it. I love it. I'm not gonna, but it's just a lot, to maintain in this 3D realm. It's time to come back online now. This 12-strand DNA, right? Exactly. What y'all think about that beef between Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels? I think that they are two different coins of the same. I think they're two different faces of the same coin. But Corey will tell you he ain't about nothing. But the other one, he say he a Christian, but I don't have a very good concept of a Christian anyway. Because people like, oh, he ain't no Christian. I'd be like, oh yeah, he might be because they be doing some stuff, honey. And you got some good ones out here, but I've been okay. I can't complain. I have been doing a lot of studying and going within and a lot of grounding. And trying to transmute this crazy energy. People losing it. Yeah, trying to transmute this energy and just stay in alignment. It's just a lot of strange energy going on and but look, we here at such a time like this. There's a lot of good things going on too. It's a lot of good. I've been seeing where some lady named Chief Warhorse is claiming the land back. The black lady, Chief Warhorse. There's a lot of good things going on too. Oh yeah, that was a lot. It was funny. Look, yeah, nobody shouldn't be talking about nobody kids, but honey, when it comes to war, people will take your children and turn them against you. Look, back in the old battle, they'll take your kids and raise them and turn them against you, and your kids come and try to take you out. What are you talking about? Talking about those other kids. The people, they use kids and wives as the casualties of wars all the time. Look, this man in Texas, this big time kingpin out there in Detroit, some money, like $100,000. Who you think he took out? He took out that man's wife, and I think that man sent his wife there to get taken out so he wouldn't take the bullet. Yeah, that's right. Wives and children has always been casualties of wars, and you dealing with a comedian? Please. Yeah, they don't care. Everybody like, oh my God, he's talking about his daughter. I expected Corey to do that. Them comedians like that. When you take them low, they take you to hell. And you got people in real life that'll come for your kids if you start something with them. And then, on top of that, he came for that man. What y'all think about Clarissa? That Clarissa Shields situation? I be feeling bad for her. Because I feel like she got the mind of a child. She remind me of a child that I know, a little child that's like 10 years old. I feel bad for her, but I wish she had a PR person. But honey, it seemed like they set her up for the kill. It's just saying, our people crashing out, and she from Detroit too. She from Detroit, and that man Anti from Detroit, and Michi X said he is not from no daggone Detroit. She said he must be from Flint or somewhere like that. That's what Michi said. Michi going in on him. Michi is going in on Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, but I just look at that and I say, he trying to be like Charleston White, and Charleston White got them. You know, Charleston White is connected with the ABC boys, and he gonna call them. He got them on speed dial, and if you swing at him, he gonna bang bang. So you not Charleston White. I love her too. You are not Charleston White, so don't try to act like him, because he is connected to the ABC boys, honey. Yeah, that's bad though. And you know that's what they do. They get up there, they can't get along, then they talk about it. When he talk bad about women and black people, ooh, he talk bad. But they say he won't say nothing about he won't say nothing about them folks and white folks. But oh well, he just trying to be another what they call it, Candace Owens. He just trying to be he trying to get with those conservatives and be another poster boy, like the guy Nick Fuentes and Candace. You know how Candace used to be. She don't talk like that now. That they, they showed her who they thought she was, but you know how she used to talk. And her buddy that's passed on, you know how they talk about black people. Oh yeah, Charleston White. I told my family member, I said, y'all guys, I feel sorry for y'all if y'all think Charleston White is y'all own, or he's somebody y'all can look up to, because Charleston White is a degenerate. He's smart. Yeah, he might be educated. He might be smart, but he's like an agent. He's a degenerate. Yeah, he might got some sense and stuff, but I don't like his character at all. I laugh sometimes at the stuff he say. But that's not nobody I would want anybody that I know to follow. A lot of these men that they following, these young generation and these older men, they didn't have dads. I ain't have one neither, but I knew who my daddy was. But I mean, I want around him. But I be damn if I'm going to follow these women that I see that's some dysfunctional, just because I told my family member, I said, a broke clock is right twice a day. I'm not going to follow nobody just because I'm looking for a parent, or I'm looking for a dad, because just these men, these are some psychotic, down low, dysfunctional, women hating, perverted men that a lot of these men are following, and they taking these talking points from. You really shouldn't be listening to now. Broke clock is right twice a day. You should not be listening to these men, because if I would follow some of these women, let me tell you, I'm glad that I am able to go within and check myself, because I know when I'm wrong. I know, because the only reason I know that, and I hold myself accountable, because I want to be balanced. Like, I want to be a person that is able to be I don't want to be what I've seen. Like, I don't want to be the woman that's jealous of my daughter. I don't want to be the woman that's like putting down. I don't want to be what I seen. I know what not to be. I'm telling you. And it was so sad is that I have such beautiful people that's in my family, like the younger generation. I don't think they realize how talented they are. But they have been around they have been hurt by women. I'm going to tell you. They have been hurt by women, so, and I have to apologize sometimes too, because I was a part of that war myself, and I'm like, I know y'all see me spazzing out because I was a teenager and I didn't know how to handle it, so they probably seen me acting crazy, and I had to go back and apologize, because I'm like, I'm probably a part of the damage too, because y'all see me in the middle of the war with these older women battling for some stupid stuff when we should have been all building and they should have been loving. I just wanted love, but I was the competition, I guess. Like, and I'm not even mad with them because that's what they probably were taught. Because you know they divided our women so bad until they passed that bullshit down. So I have a lot of beautiful young people in my family that I see that have been hurt by women, and I can only tell them, look, let it go. They don't trust women, and when they hear these men talking like they talk, that just, oh yeah, I understand, cause I understand, cause yeah, I went through that when I was little. I seen how violent these black women can be, and how they hurt you, and they have that. I'm telling you, these people have been hurt. They seen some shit, so they got a right, but that doesn't help. I don't want them to live with that. Like, that's no way. Like, I've been hurt by people, men and women, like older, like family members that really shouldn't have did me the way they did me. I ain't talking about like they molested me or nothing like that, but as far as abandoning me as a child and just throwing me under the bus and treating me like abandonment and neglect, but I had to let it go. And I wish I would have let it go a lot sooner than what I did, because it's a very freeing thing to be able to, heartbreak. I'm talking about, I'm like an underground orphan. Like, you think I got a silver spoon in my mouth, but I didn't. I didn't. It looked like it though. If you looking for the outside, man, I had to get it on the ground and get it on my own. I've been on my own, but you wouldn't know it because I'm because I made it look so good. But like I tell the people, I tell my children, I tell the children, don't follow me. You do not want to. I want you to learn from what I've been through by looking at me. Don't go through it. That's a rough life to have that. That's something I didn't even want to experience. I didn't even want to experience that shit. I had no choice because I was dealing with the baby boomers, and they have a lot of mental. Them baby boomers is mixed in with them Cabbage Patch babies. You don't know if they've been cloned. You don't know if they done abducted your parents or your family. It was a lot of experiments going on with them baby boomers, I'm telling you. And I noticed that. Not all, but yeah. Nah, yeah, I just put that on all women. That's dumb. Yeah, I don't do men like that. I've been through some stuff with men, and I don't do it. But everybody not capable like us, Ultra Instinct, to do that. Everybody's not capable of that type of intelligence. They're not capable of that. Because I'm telling you, I got a right to hate men and women. Really, I could be an evil motherfucker out here. And I know how to be evil. Like, people be like, oh, girl, you ain't gonna do nothing. Then. I'm like, man, y'all don't know. I choose to be the person that I am. Because if I would have went like that, they want, like, it's like people be trying to turn an angel into a demon. Really? Yeah, the Cabbage Patch. They was raised with the cat. That's what the baby boomer mean. It was a lot of babies because they were making some of them. They were making them in a lab, man, and putting them on them orphan trains and sending them to the indigenous lands and they was training them that these are your enemies. But at the same time, these are your enemies was helping them and teaching them how to tour the land. And once they got whiff of how to farm the land, they took the land. The government helped. You need to go look at it. You need to go look at that movie that Remedy got. That's a lot. Yeah, Cabbage Patch babies. And you know they worked at them fat. You know DuPont? You know DuPont is the devil. You know, I done my research on DuPont. That's one of those black nobility. It looked like white people, but the people... Anyway. They was doing a lot of experiments at that place. If you look at the people that work there, if you know anybody that worked there, most of those people that work there, they act alike. My mother and my father worked there. And I had a lot of other family members that worked at this company. That company would pay them people a lot of... Anytime somebody paying you a lot of money, anytime that they telling you that you can buy houses and cars and all that, and you ain't got to pay... You ain't got to pay but $50 a week. Matter of fact, the people that were backing that company is a Japanese company. Hell, my name Japanese. I be pinching myself sometimes. I'm like, am I real? I'm being authentic with you. Listen, I be wondering like what happened at that plant, because when I done a lot of research. I'm telling you, I know about DuPont. All my family, a lot of my family and my church family worked there. They all acted alike. Sometimes I be wondering, did they experience that? Of course they did. I be like, cause honestly, sometimes the people that I met, the later on don't seem like the same people I'm dealing with. Yeah, I'm telling you, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. It be some stuff going on, and then everybody was thinking I was crazy when I used to say this. So somebody had a dream like that. I'm like, I tried to tell you, but you always thought I was crazy. Okay, all right, I ain't saying no more. But it's just, it was a lot going on with our people. It was a lot of experiments. Think about the Tuskegee experiments. You think they want to experiment on these people at these factories and stuff like that? And most of these people that I'm saying that I feel like been experimented on or whatever they did, they cannot. And I was a little kid, boy. They put me through hell. I'm talking about from the church house to the home. Everybody thought I had it made, honey. Everybody thought I must have had a sign on my head or something like. Yeah. That true too crazy, yeah. In a world full of light. That's right. And I dealt with these folks from this plant, so I know. I went to church with them, and I lived with some of them, and I'm telling you, the stuff that I experienced, it was not. It's something. I'm like, damn. It's somebody in the background controlling these people. This can't be real. I mean, no, most people, if people would have experienced what I experienced, they wouldn't. I'm telling you, they would not survive. If they would have survived, they wouldn't be in their right mind. They would not been in their right mind. I'm trying to tell you, I was under some type of. It's like they experimented with them, and they tried to experiment. They trigger me to the point of where I'm like, this seemed like some CIA type, MK Ultra type shit. I ain't trying to brainwash me and stuff. I'm telling you, it was rough. I was like, Lord, I know I got some ancestors that I know I've been chosen, because I mean that it was a lot. But anyway, we at a time such as this. It's time to let stuff go, because if I don't hate no women and men, I be telling other people, you shouldn't be hating nobody. Because if you don't know the people, that don't mean. But the bad thing about it is, when you have been through stuff and you got them triggers, the universe will send people to trigger you so you can get it right. And once you pass that test, you ain't even got to go through it no more. Yep. And some people, though, you got to stay away from. But some people, you can deal with them. They change. They heal, and you heal. And you get yourself together. Because I ain't no perfect person. I ain't even trying to sit here and act like, Lord, I ain't never done nothing in my life. Well, I'm just saying, I know the difference between good and evil. And I know how to balance it all out. And at the same time, we got to let stuff go, because we coming into a new era. It was hard for me to let stuff go. I ain't even going to lie. I know people that can hold grudges longer than I can. But, honey, I can hold a grudge. But I got tired. I got tired. And I know other people tired. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a new world out here. I wish I could join your live. This is good. Yeah, it's a new energy we in now. It's a whole new energy. It's not no need in holding on to the past. You don't forget it, but at the same time, you don't let it control you. Cause it's so like that song I got. Everything is so brand new. We coming into a new time, a new energy. It's time for us to build now. It's time to stop playing. We gotta grow up now. I can't sit at the crossroads no more. It's time to action. It's time to build. It's time to learn how to put to work what we've been talking about. Yeah, just like I be like, I'm not gonna get up here because I want to show them some action. I don't want to just sit up here and talk all the time. I want to actually do something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I be telling them, stop listening to these leaders, because a lot of these people, I believe they agents. They sent out to distort the minds of the youth. I'm not gonna tell no youth, and I'm not gonna tell nobody, even older people. They looking for dads and stuff too. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, I don't believe in marriage. No, I don't, cause I done did it, and I think it's a bunch of crap. I don't believe in that. I believe that you could, get married without going to court and stuff like that. But I think most people, how can I say this? I don't think most men gonna be with a woman forever anyway. I think that was an expectation they should have never gave us, that we gonna get with a man, he gonna be with us forever, and he ain't gonna never be with nobody else. I think that's a bunch of crap. And they not even doing it. Those rich people have so many swingers and them white parties, and they ain't telling us that they be sleeping with each other. The man be sleeping with the man, the woman sleep with the woman. Them people even it. What you think they hiding them Epstein files for? Them people is sick. They doing all kind of weird stuff. So I'm not even trying to go there. Now I got a limit. I'm not trying to be like, I don't want a lot of partners and this and that. I just don't want nobody lying to me. And I don't think that it's until they get old, where they really can't really do a lot. I think that's when they might sit down some. But while they're young and vibrant, I believe most men gonna have more than one partner, and the women too. It ain't even just the men, cause a woman will get tired of just being with. She'll be loyal. She'll be loyal for as long. And some women just not gonna be with one person. I mean, you got women out here that they don't want to just be with one man either. So I think that was all a bunch of crock that they sold us, cause they're not even. Those people stay together, but they got open relationships and all kind of dynamics going on. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not on that fairy tale mess like they had us listening to all this music of he's mine, you may have had him once. What is it? But I got him all the time. And then silly of me. I'm so sick of them songs. I don't want to hear no Summer Walker. I don't even listen to have this music now, because honey, it's got you in a mindset of worried about a man. They worried about a man. That's all they make these women obsessed. A man. Look at Cardi B. Ain't no way in hell. It's no way in hell. And I done had some low self-esteem. I ain't even gonna front. You wouldn't have never known I had low self-esteem. But now I got higher self-esteem because I can I'll get up and don't put on nothing. I wash my face, get all the matter out of my eye, brush my teeth, make sure I'm clean. And I don't gotta wear no makeup. And I'm happy with how I look now. But it was times in the past where I wouldn't even go out the house unless I had eyelashes, the hair, the makeup, the cheek. I'm talking about, that's when I had low self-esteem, but you wouldn't have never known it, because that's when I looked like I was at my prime if you looked at me from the outside. But honey, even on my low self-esteem day, I wouldn't even deal with no dang old man that had $1 million or $50 million. He got that many kids by different. Now, let me take that back. He constantly having them. And and it ain't about the money. But she really don't need to be dependent on him like them Instagram models do. They trying to get him a bag. They trying to hit a lick. They trying to come up on a child support check with an NFL ball player or whatever. So you can kind of understand they plight. They like, yeah, I can get this child support for 18 years and start me a business. You know how some of these women think. These pretty, them preferences and pretty women. Yeah, they looking up to her because they in the situation. I didn't realize how many of this generation is in that situation where they looking at their baby daddy be with the other baby. He got about 5, 6 baby mamas, and I mean that's normal now. I couldn't imagine you have a baby on me, and we together, and we ain't gotta be married, and you go get another woman pregnant, honey. It's gonna be a problem. Much less than we married, and you go get away. And look, we gotta put on a good front. That's the old me. I ain't with that bullshit now, but I'm saying that's the old me. We gotta make this shit look good. You can't embarrass me. If I'm the main chick, I gotta look. But look, that's how we had standards back then, which they were very superficial and very fakish and hierarchical and patriarchal. But at the same time, I couldn't see myself with a 5 cents in my pocket being with a Stephon Diggs, and I'm not even bragging. Do you know I have turned down not NFL, But I've turned down NBA ball players that were signed, not because not well. I was with somebody, and I ain't saying I'm Miss Angel or perfect, but I didn't want them because I know how them ball players is. I was I've always been scared of catching stuff, and not only that, one of them was a white guy. I didn't want to get lynched. Look, I can show you him. I can show you this NBA ball player right now. He did. This guy was telling me the other day. This insurance guy. He's like, you know, a lot of the ball players don't move back home. Then I said, I don't want no grouchy retired NBA ball players that's grouchy and done been divorced about 2 or 3 times, and then I'm gonna come along when they got erectile functions and we gonna live happily ever after, and they gonna make me suffer for what they X, Y, Z. Hell no. I'm not going through that with them grouchy. Look, yeah, they got their money. They don't retire. They invested their money well. But listen, I want somebody that's happy with themselves. He ain't got to have all that. If I'm going to be with somebody, they got to be somebody working on themselves, healed. He ain't got to be having no millions of dollars, but I ain't saying he can't have nothing. But come on, I don't want to go through that. But I didn't want to be lynched because the man was acting like he was crazy over me, and we had the dated, and he was on the ball court answering the phone, and I just was flat. I ain't gonna lie, I was flattered, but I was like, man, I go to this man. He was in college at the time, but he had already got signed in his senior year. I was like, honey, I go to that man room and we get it on. He gonna be acting strung out. He ain't never been with no black woman like that neither. I won't about to be having no damn lynch squad out the bed. Them people in that town, that rich town. One of my coworkers gave me a car, but he was not into me. He was gay. He did not like no women. He liked men. But he gave me the car because he was a doctor, and I was helping him out, and I was very good at the job, and he was like, girl, you always come to work. My car broke down. I'd be walking, not walking all the way to work, but I would catch the bus to the hospital and stuff like that. And you know, they see that you a hard worker. He saw that I was a good person, and I won't all out there wild, but I was married. You know, when you married, you got to carry yourself a certain way too, even though the husband was acting foolish. I won't gonna be all out there wild like that, but you know, I carried myself real decent. So one day we went to his house. It was in the country, like a 2-story log cabin. But I sat in the car, but I was nervous because guess what? His daddy was a grand wizard. He told me, he's like, girl, you know, my daddy wrote for me to be married to a white man and to be with a black woman. I said, well, what would your daddy say if he seen how me and you be hanging out? But listen, check this out. He was using me as arm candy, I think, to get other men. Because he wanted to take me out to cookouts and shit like that. I said, you trying to use me you trying to use the cute. Yeah, he said, you damn right. I'm trying to use the pretty girl to pull other men. I said, you a sick. I'm stop hanging with you. You a sick motherfucker. Girl, yeah. Yeah, what happened if that man seen me at his house? I'm in that man's house. He come back from one of his KKK meetings. I'm walking around and look, I could write a book. I'm walking around looking. Look. I'm talking about. I'm looking like Miss. And when I didn't realize I was naive back then, but I was fucking up because when I left the job, I'll change clothes, put on. You know how flashy I used to dress, so I put on my clothes and all them white women, boy. When I walked through there and I was already in shape, look, they be mad. When I walk through there and I won't pay nobody no mind, I just be trying to go work out. He talking about, yeah, you making it. Look, this was somebody told me about. You making them with white women mad when you put on your regular clothes and walk out. They already be mad with you when you got on your. And I ain't even think I was all. Look, I always been down to earth. I did not think I was all that. But I used to spice myself up, and I know how to dress, and I got style. People can't tell me that them white women just as jealous of these sisters, honey. They worse. They sneaky with their stuff. Look, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a hospital story. Said, you know about this, Serene. You know about this stuff. Grand wizard. Yeah, he was a fucking grand. He told me he would give me the key to his beat. This was a rich doctor that was a homosexual, and he never been with a woman, much less a black woman. I won't gonna give him none, and he ain't never tried to ask me to give him none. But you know, he liked my cooking because I'm a chef. And Tiffany, I was making that chili back then too. So look, I'm a chef. So he ate my cooking one time, and he was like, "Oh my God, where you buy this sausages and stuff from?" I said, "Well, I go to Whole Foods, and I get my ingredients and stuff like that." So he ate my food, and that was it. He used to come over to my house. We used to look at movies. and I'll cook for him. And then he'll take me out to eat. Then I'll go shopping with him. Look, I'll go shopping. Yeah, I got him with that food, and I'm nice. He was ordering me candles. He'll say, "Look, just take the catalog, and order as many." Cause I was into them scented candles back then. I'd be like, well, wait, how many candles can I order? He's like, order as many as you want to. Just get what you want to get. Just it's your birthday. Just go and get what you. He had money and he worked. Like he was making bank at the hospital. And his family, could, the Grand Wizard Daddy and all that, they all had money. They lived out there. I'm talking about, this is like one of the richest cities where I was at. So he'd be like, get what you want. So I'll cook for him or whatever. It won't no hanky-panky or nothing because I respected that he was gay. And I guess we was really, truly friends. Like, it won't no hanky-panky going on. I'm not even like that. Like, I can be in a relationship where I just met somebody and we'll lay there in the bed together for a while and don't do nothing. Like, I can roll like that because I was with this guy dated. We was like hanging out for 2 years before we ever got it in. We were friends. Now, I ain't gonna say that there ain't been situations where it move along a little faster than that. I'm just keeping it real. But I can roll like that. Like, I don't have to be sexual with no man, and if a man ain't making passes at me, then I'm not gonna play myself and try to be messing with no gay man that I know don't like no women. So it can kill my friendship and he can stop taking me out to eat and buying me candles and shit. I like that relationship. I sure did. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna cook for you soon too when I see you. But I like that relationship. But honey, let me tell you, the white women got jealous of me. They thought I done changed that. This story time. They thought I changed that man's mind. That they thought I took him from being gay. They thought I had that kind of power down there in that yonder. They thought the white women got so scared that they thought I made him into a straight man. Now, I didn't even believe in myself like that. I ain't even have that kind of confidence in myself to think that I could compete with I can't compete with no man. I knew that back then. I know that now. I ain't got no eggplant. So if he like that eggplant, what the fuck I'm gonna do for him? So I already knew that wasn't gonna be no go. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have that much confidence in myself, but Becky did. Yeah. Becky thought that I had took the white, he was a white guy. They thought that cause they ain't never seen him hang with no black woman like that. But I'm cool. Come on, I'm fun. I'm always, come on, I'm live in real life. Like I ain't just on face. If I had to pull the real life energy that I got, if people knew who I was in here, they'd be flocking to my channel. Cause I'm really, really cool in real life. So yeah, he's a Capricorn. So we was the opposite of in things. So we were friends. Do you know they thought I turned this man straight? And I didn't. We were going shopping for his little boyfriend. We'll go out. We just enjoyed each other's company because he's a Capricorn and I got Cancer placement. So that's the opposite polarity. He got the money and I got the emotions. So that's a perfect match. He got the money and I got the emotions and I know how to spend it. So you know what I'm saying? We had a good time. So I'm at the hospital one day. I have a patient that come in that's a psych patient on suicide watch. So Serene, about that. When you got them kind of patients, you got to sit there in the emergency room and chart. You got to be like, oh, the person looking at the wall, they turn over. Everything they do, you got to chart it when they on suicide watch in the emergency room. So you can't get up without letting somebody take over and watch, because you got to watch every move they make. You got to chart everything they do. If they home or if they open their eyes, you got to chart every little thing they do. So I'm having to go to the ladies' room. So the nurse, she's in front of me. I'm sitting at the desk by the patient's bed. She's sitting over there charting. So I'm like, yo, can you watch this patient while I go to the restroom? Just give me 5 minutes and I'll be right back. So little did she know, she looking right funny, right? So I said, oh yeah, that was his friend, but I don't think he had been spending much time with her after he done got with me, and we've been having so much of this black girl magic fun. I'm cooking for him and I'm picking out some nice stuff for his boyfriend and all that. You know what I'm saying? We living it up. She over there hating because he ain't really, man, he went from mayonnaise to some spicy jalapeno. What is it? Some fried chicken and collard greens with damn fat back in them. And he went from mayonnaise to me. Let me start. Is it 15 minutes? Well, it seemed like 5 back then. It seemed like 5. So look, little did she know she was cutting her eyes at me anyway. I knew something was up, but I was like, yeah, she'll watch him. But something said tell the security guard to look out for him too, because that's in the, I read it, but this what you gotta do. I be reading them manuals and them rule books and stuff for them hospitals, because see, that's how they'll hem your butt up. That's in life in general. So I read in between them little dotted lines. So I knew that I could use a security guard to, look out for me too. So I tell security, I said, listen, I go to the restroom. So I need for you to keep an eye on him too. He was like, you asked her? I said, yeah, but I'm putting you in charge too, because I don't know. I don't know what might transpire. So I just felt like I needed to ask you, please have my back. Please, I need you to do. He said, okay, I got you. I carry my butt to the restroom, right? I go in there, make sure I hurry up, but I wash my hands and stuff like that, because I'm a germphobe, and I'm gonna make sure I just had to do number one. So I won't in there that long. I come out, don't you know, I sit back down, and I'm like, okay, I tell her thank you, and I tell him low key thank you. I kind of had I do this because if you don't know, working in the medical field, it's like working in the streets as a drug dealer or hustler. You gotta always watch your back, because it's always somebody trying to take you down. It's always somebody. It's just like the streets. It's always somebody trying to take you out or take you down. In reality, they trying to put you on. So I sit down, and she like, what are you talking about? I was like, I thanked you for watching the patient while I went. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. I won't watching nobody. What are you talking about? You left the patient? Man, and I was like, okay. You left that patient that was on suicide watch while you went? Man, I was like, no, I told you to watch him for me, and you agreed that you... No, I did not. I did not. Guess what happened? That security guard popped out like that man on that movie with Martin Lawrence when he played in that Blue Dot, that movie with that white man with that beast stuck him in out. That man, he reminded you of him. He said, you're lying, because I heard her tell you that she was going to the bathroom and you agreed to watch him, and then she also told me. I said, look, I ain't got all good. I ain't God good. It's good to listen to the Spirit. It's good to listen to the Holy Spirit. So think about it. Had I not did a plan A and B, then I'd have been screwed. And not only that, I would have lost my life. I would not only lost my job. That's why you got to be watchful and discerning the energy and be careful, because people are tripped. And it don't even be nothing to it. They mind, their imagination get them carried away on all type of illusion. Won't nothing even going down. That man was just going through he probably was going through a phase where he wanted to see what it was like to be friends with a black woman. It's not many that was there. It was a rare jewel. And he liked that black woman, and he bonded with her. You know what I'm saying? We had a good friendship going. That lady did all of that, excuse me, y'all. She did all of that for nothing. It wasn't nothing going on. He still was going to be her friend. You know what I'm saying? He just, like Jay-Z said, we were going to get right back. Because they stick together. I was a phase probably. He probably really liked me, but them people were probably pressuring that man like, what's going on with you and the nigger? What's up with you and the nigger? I'm going to go tell his dad. We know his dad is a grand wizard, and he's hanging with this black woman. They probably went and told his dad. And his dad probably like, son, what is it? That's how they do. Because they all was mad with me. Especially when he gave me a car. Imagine that. He gave me a car. I did not have to give up no head. I ain't had to lay down. I ain't had to give up no coochie, no cookies, no nothing. I didn't even have to pay for the damn car. Ain't nobody in my family matter of fact, I done gave cookies. I done gave up cookies to my husband and gave babies and stuff up. He ain't never gave me no car. Oh, when he gave me that car, even the gay people on the job got mad. I'm talking about, what in the world he give me that car? And I didn't tell nobody. I don't know how the hell they knew. But I was appreciative because I needed a car, because little did I know the car that I had was supposed to be getting fixed. I had sent it back to get fixed, and somebody didn't pay the mechanic, and I didn't have no fucking car. He sold my fucking car. So it's good that I got that car, because I was gonna be out of a car. So it was it was a blessing to me. And I was trying to get to work and stuff. So honey, I called hell behind that. I'm talking about, not only did I have issues with the little Becky, I got into it with the manager, the old white bitch with the old money. I was like, oh yeah, it's time for me to go to the other hospital. Let me go ahead. They paying more anyway. Let me go ahead and resign and going on over there, because these bitches is acting crazy, boy. I was like, damn, like that let me see right then how jealous they can be. I was like, they cutthroat with that shit. The sisters will come out and be like, bitch this and bitch that, you bitch. They gonna go do some cutthroat sneaky shit if they can. So I was like, I don't want to get my license messed up. These bitches trying to set me up. It's time for me to go, Wayne. He was like, yeah, I understand that, because they jealous of you. I was like, and we ain't even got nothing. I was like, what if we really was fooling around, boy? They try to kill me. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. I won't go mess with that man. That man, daddy, I ain't scared now, but it ain't worth it, honey. I can fight. But look, I ain't trying to fight no Willie Lynch over their son. Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm not going through it. I already know your daddy a grand wizard. I'm gonna sit there. And he didn't want into women. I wouldn't have did that. Come on. What's the point of even trying to mess with that man? He like men. If they like men like that, they eventually gonna revert back to men anyway. Oh, I won't go in there. Now the NBA ball player, I just be careful. I don't know. My people from the deep south. Some of my people, some of them moving up north and stuff like that. But I know about that stuff. Man, they hate it when they people be with a black. It seems like they accept it more when a black man be with a white woman than they mad when these black women be with these white men. Which I don't care. If I really love somebody, I wouldn't give a damn about that. But I'm not about to be experimenting like that's dangerous. Nah, it's got to be something really real. No, but yeah, that was story time. Y'all enjoy that story? I'm about to get out of here. Unless y'all want me to keep on talking. I've been on here about an hour. I missed y'all. I ain't seen y'all in a while. I don't want you to think I forgot about you, but yeah, we gotta prepare for these storms and ride them out. And don't be in no fear. Don't even be in fear. Just ride out the storm. Yep. I talked about Clarissa, and I hope she make it through this. Cause boy, when you got them tax debts, dude, 600,000 and 300. I hope she be all right. Yeah. I hope they don't do nothing to that girl, cause she kind of naive, man. It looked like she would. Did you hear her? Did you hear her ex-boy? They told her ex-boyfriend cousin got up there and was talking about how she was acting, how she acted and stuff. And I want to see her fight. The girl is undefeated. She's got some talent when it comes to fighting. I want to see her fight. That's all I'm thinking about. But I mean, I hated that she ruined her. She's ruined her PR image with all this stuff she got going on. It's just bad. But yeah, I think she's talented. I mean, she's undefeated. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I had low self-esteem in the past time, but if a man had a baby on me and we were going together, it's kind of hard for me to accept that. So I don't know how she deal with this. I don't know. Maybe that's a PR relationship. Cause it seemed like she really cared for him. It seemed like she really careful. I know that's right. Yeah, it seemed like she really cared for that dude, but he got a lot of daggone choices. Oh no, I don't know. I'd be like, well, is he really at the game or is he at with one of his baby mom? I don't know. I don't know, people. Them famous people just. I think she paid the lead these young girls to in those directions. I think that's what they pay her for. To lead them, and they say Offset settled with her, and I don't know. Anyway, like I said, it's just a mess. I just be like, wow, I don't know. And a lot of this stuff is distractions. We gotta be focusing on our. I've been looking at Miss Blue too, the Oracle Miss Blue. She be on some really really good words. I'm telling you, she be talking about some good stuff. Yeah, I will. I did. I do. But I need to yeah, I need to bring it up here. I did it on a I did, but I do need to do it more on YouTube. Yeah, I do. You're right. You are absolutely right. I used to do it on Instagram, but I need to bring it up here. But I would do it on a separate channel though. I wouldn't do it on this channel. I'd leave this channel for this, but yeah. Or maybe I would. I probably would do another whole separate channel. Yep. Oh, lately I made a lasagna recently. And what else? I've been making soups, trying to cleanse and detox. I've mainly been doing a lot of soups, but I made a lasagna, the recent thing I made. And something different, I made a stromboli not too long ago. I hadn't did that squash casserole in a little while. I hadn't did that in a while. Yeah, the Oracle, Miss Blue, she's up here. She's pretty good. It'd be a lot of encouraging words and stuff. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. Well, y'all, I am getting out of here. I've been up here about an hour, so I'm gonna check out. I'll probably be back up here later. Oh yeah, that squash casserole. Yeah, I hadn't made that. I'm gonna make that probably when. I don't know. I gotta make some lamb with that though. I gotta do my lamb with that squash. When I do that squash, I gotta have that lamb. Gotta have that leg of lamb. Yep. Yeah, she been around for a while. Where is she from, Ultra Instinct? She from here. Yeah, she go in now. Probably soon. I had planned to come back. I had planned to come to visit when? In December. But probably soon. Probably be soon. If I don't make it there, I'll be in Georgia. But I gotta yeah, I'm supposed to them kids, I gotta meet up with them. So it'll either be me coming there or meeting up with them in Georgia. But I would definitely let you know when I come. I'll check you out. I'll check you out. I'll definitely check you out when I come that way. Cause they already asking me. They were like, when are you coming to get us? When are you gonna come to get us? Yeah, I was like, it's gonna be soon, baby. Yep. What y'all doing down there in North Carolina? Tourists, what y'all doing down there in North Carolina? What's going on? Everybody doing all right? Yeah. I guess we just gotta ride this out. Doing your grounding, your meditating, and little fasting. I've been trying to do. It's been hard though, but it normally be easier for me to fast. I don't even smoke no more. Maybe that's why it's been hard for me to fast. I don't. I smoke ceremonially the pure cigars, like the for the ancestral stuff, and I do the nicotine, not patches, but I do the nicotine the things that you put under your tongue. Boy, they are good. Nicotine. Y'all done y'all research on how good nicotine is for you. But I don't smoke. Like, I don't smoke. When I do smoke, it's only ceremonial for the cigars. But now that I don't smoke, I eat more. Seem like it. I do that. That's not a damn habit I want. Yeah, you be safe out there too. This heart freeze is crazy. Right. That's all it is. It don't supposed to be cold weather like this. Right. Everybody better stock up on some candles and charging up your devices and before I freeze, I'm gonna burn me some. I'm gonna make me. I'm gonna make me a fire. I freeze. Look, I'll survive there and thrive. I'll be all right. I'm gonna figure something out. I'm gonna be all right. I made it through this. Look, it won't no electricity when they had that tornado. The electricity went out for about a week or two. It was longer than a week. It was like 100 degrees. I'm in a tropical area. I made it through that. It wasn't easy, but I did. Made it through that. Made it through that daggone 100-degree weather. And I had a solar. I had to use my solar batteries to charge. I had to use my solar charger, and then the phones went out too. We didn't have phones. I had to use the Wi-Fi at Walmart, and it was crazy. The cellular towers went down, and the electricity went out. The supermarket was throwing food. Man, this shit. I was like, why me? Like, I was like, what the hell? Listen, I got a hotel room, yo. Don't you know the fucking lights went out in the hotel room? This shit was wild. I'm like, what is happening? I ain't have no lights in my house because of the tornado. I get a freaking room, the lights go out at the damn hotel. I'm like, hey, boy, that was crazy. I'm like, I survived that. I think those lights was out for like, hold on. I'll be right back. I'm going to talk some more about it. Yeah, when it rains here, it's like the bottom fall out. I ain't never seen no rain like this. Oh, you looking at a Bitcoin? Oh, yeah, it seems turbulent now, don't it? No backup generators. Hell no, they ain't got no backup. You gotta buy your generator. And when I buy me one, I'm buying a solar. I'm buying a solar. I ain't buying one over here. I'm in the city. Hell no. I am not buying one. I gotta put it out in the sun to charge my solar panels. Oh no, I'm gonna wait till I move on the outskirts. Then I'll get me a solar. I'll just rough it out until I move on the outskirts. I'm not buying. I'm not buying no generator over here. And the one I would buy would be a solar power generator. Yeah, the last time that the lights went out, it was the people across the fence. They got their lights back before we did. And that was all right with me, but I don't know. These neighbors be looking like they was upset about it, like they wanted to go over there. I'm like, I ain't buying no generator until I move on the outskirts, because I don't want to be done took these niggas out. Yeah, they didn't like it that the people across, which I wouldn't either, but I ain't gonna be plotting on nobody either. I mean, I ain't like that. I ain't like that. I never been like that. But yeah, on Bitcoin, yeah, I need to take a look at that. But you know, they say what's really going up now is the silver and gold. They say that's what it is now, is silver and gold. Yep. That's what I'm thinking about. Is like more so like silver and gold. Yep. No, they ain't got somebody got a generator out here, but it's a gas generator. It's I like the solar stuff. The supermarket didn't even have lights. One of these supermarkets was throwing food out. I'm like, why y'all don't just give it to the people instead of throwing it out? They just throwing the food out. Now Walmart gonna have a generator. Walmart was open. And so was the Heb stores and stuff like that, and the Jovies and all that. But this other store, like, what was it? Yeah, this other supermarket, popular supermarket, they didn't even have no. I don't know. I'm like, y'all a corporate store. Y'all ain't got no generator. Yeah, I think gold and silver is silver mainly now, and gold. You know, gold ain't gonna never go out of style. And probably the stuff they use to make these supercomputers with. The companies that the little bitty Asian companies that's using the material to make these supercomputers and these coils and stuff. Yeah. Where it don't really cost that much to invest right now. What's up? Yeah, they have an outage, the light outage, the water. They got water. They don't fix their water, the water structure, the water. I got my bottles already filled up though. The water go off, the daggone light went off with the daggone storm. I'm like, damn, am I in California or what? Fuck. Last year, I learned a few. Girl, I'm on my Mars. Saturn line. I learned a lot. I don't even know which. I learned so many lessons last year. I don't know which one to choose, because I learned so many lessons about well, I learned about letting go and a lot of spiritual stuff. My stuff is more so spiritual stuff now. I done left that material stuff because that ain't really hard for me to. It's not really hard. I'm not saying that I don't. I do care. I know you need money in this world and stuff like that, and I like to be comfortable. But my stuff was more so a lot of inner work, spiritual stuff. Learning to I learned that I wasn't where I thought I was either. I sure did. That I needed to do some more. I needed to do some more work. That's what I learned last year. I learned that I complain too much. I need to be more grateful. And I need to be more I started studying how to properly talk to people and talk to my children, talk to my family members, and Effective. I thought I had it going on with the communication, but I learned that I can learn some more about effective communication. I learned that we as a people, we don't know how to communicate to each other effectively. We don't know how to use certain tones, and we don't know how to use words to get the results that we want. I learned that I need to communicate better. I need to do some more healing. I need to communicate with more love and not demands. I need to be able to make a statement without making people feel less than. Yeah. Better communication. Showing more love with my words. Not being offensive. And I learned too, and I should know this, and I talk about it all the time, but I had to learn, like, when we do a lot of talking up here and say that we spiritual leaders and got all this knowledge, we gotta walk it like we talk it. We're gonna have to live it. We're gonna have to put the rubber to the road and test out our words and what we say. We held accountable for every word that we say. We held accountable for. And I have actually been having to live what I said. I have to practice what I preach. I've been put through the Saturn and Mars, the strict father. That energy of having to practice what I preach and get more backbone. You know what I'm saying? Knowing when to say no, and boundaries. Establishing boundaries without walking away, without burning the daggone bridge up. You know, not destroying anything, but just walking away in peace and putting boundaries up. You know what I'm saying? And saying no and not feeling guilty, and more self-love. Knowing that I gotta love myself so I can love anybody or do anything for anybody else. No, I can't be responsible I can't, but me, my voice is very distinct, and I've been studying how, because I want to be a better public speaker. I want to be a better mediator too. So I've been studying that, and I know I don't want to come across as like demanding, and I was if you want somebody to do something, you give them one thing to do at a time. And I'll explain, like, instead of just stating what I want, I find myself explaining. So you're supposed to just state what you want, and then after you state what you want, then you explain it. You gotta speak with more power, and less emotions. I'm an emotional. I'm an emotional. I've been emotional for a long time, and I have to balance that out. So I don't want to sound emotional with my words. And I learned this because I recently had to mediate with an attorney, and I learned that the way I was talking, I had to get my skill up real quick, because they'll find your weakness and use it against you. So I had to skill up real fast with that. And I had to mediate something, and I had to negotiate. And if I hadn't got my skill up to be able to do that, I would have been taken advantage of, because what you don't know can hurt you in your communication. They can see the emotions, and he was trying to push my buttons and get me all emotional, and I had to say, wait a minute, let me go back to the drawing board and study, and so I can communicate effectively to get the results that I want. And it worked. It worked out for me, because and that let me know, well, that's in everyday life. That's dealing with a business. That's dealing with your job. That's dealing with your family members. Dealing with your children. Like, it's an effective way to communicate. And like, even with arguing, like he was trying to argue with me, but I was like, listen, I've stated what I wanted, and not to, because they're not used to women talking like that. They're not, most of these high-powered attorneys, they're very patriarchal. sometimes, most of the time, they wives stay at home and they run out. So when a woman come at them like that, that's kind of intimidating. But I had to handle my business. So I had to talk like I couldn't talk like I talk. I couldn't just be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to be like, listen, I've stated what I wanted, and I need for you, as being someone that's working for me, to do the job. And if you can't do that, then I need for you to pass it on to your partner that can. And that's how you gotta. I mean, you gotta roll like that. I mean, that's how I have to talk. Really? And you believe that? Yeah, but yeah, but you can get more. You know, Pastor Prince even used to say that you can get more honey with bees with honey than you can with salt. Like your words and stuff. Like I don't want to be nasty to people. Like I don't want to. Like I don't want to just be nasty and just this. Like when you talking, you held account. Listen, do you realize how powerful that throat chakra is and that tongue? That tongue is on the edge of hell or heaven. You have to be very careful with your words and how you say stuff and your intention, because you're spelling. When you speak, you casting a spell. And I had to learn that a long time ago. Like I had to learn this years ago, because I was dealt with. Spirit was like, you know, you have a responsibility that when you say stuff, it come true. So you got to be careful at what you say, because you know I ain't trying to. I'm not trying to brag, but when I say stuff, it comes true. So I have to be careful what I say. I can't just. I got to be very careful. Like I have to choose my words, because it'll come true. So if I'm angry, like I used to get mad back in the day, and Lord have mercy, I'd be saying all kinds of stuff just out of control, and I had to get that in order, because it comes back on me too. Like it's not nothing pretty. Like I have to. If I'm saying stuff and I'm having the wrong intent and I'm just spiraling out of control, man, I pay for that, because evidently that's my call. Like I'm a prophet. Well, I'm what I speak a lot of times comes true, and I can either heal with my words or I can hurt with my words. Like I can heal or I can destroy. So I have to be careful, and I have to use it with the right intent. Now I ain't saying all the there's times when I got to come out and do the judgment call, and I have to talk a certain way, and my words have to cut. They can't always be all swift, dripping with honey. But I don't have to just be like just shrewd all the time. Like I don't have to be sharp, just shrewd and sharp. And with me having those Virgo placements, I had to fine tune that, because my words can be like that if I'm not watchful. Like it don't have no emotion and just be sharp and cutting. Like that's too much. And men are more sensitive than women. Yeah. Boy, I used to lay it on my ex-husband. He made me mad. Oh my God. I know I done said some things, honey. I done said some things and I had to pay for them things. I'm not paying no more. I have said some things out of emotions and anger and hurt that I couldn't take back, and it'll make people hate you. I done used this daggone weapon like a damn sword. You know, you catch somebody doing something, you feel like they're playing you. That mouth mixed in with me being my mother's child. Oh, the Lord. Lord have mercy. I'd be like, Lord, I feel bad for that man. When I see that man right now, I'd be like, you know what? I wish you the best. I do. I wish you the best. Yeah, you hurt my feelings. I get nasty. I used to get, not now. I go somewhere and I take a deep breath and I gather myself. Yeah, I grown a lot. But that heartbreak be real for me, boy. I said, oh, this nigga hurt me. I gotta use these words to hurt them back. You pay for that. You pay for that. You even though somebody wrong, you too wrong, you pay for that. Yeah. I'm grateful for growth. Yeah, and being my mother's child too. Who? Mm. Yeah. I've learned to have. I have compassion for people, and because everybody's not the same. People not on the same level. People don't see stuff like I see it. I had to learn that. I'm like, I used to think everybody's supposed to know what I know. No. No. Gratitude, yeah. And compassion and empathy and love. That unconditional love. You know, you talk about it, but I love people that I don't even really talk. Like, they don't even know it. They probably think I'm mad with them. I don't even really say nothing to them, but I don't got no hate in my heart. I got love for them. I be sending out healing and good energy to them. I might can't talk to them every day, but it ain't nothing in my heart against them. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got a, yeah, that, you know, that Virgo can be called, that Virgo, shit. That Virgo is very, what you call it when you use your brain, logic. That Virgo is logical. That Virgo is logical. Everything got to be a certain way. Everything very very orderly. When it comes to things being in order, things got to be done at a certain time. You know, health wise, cleanliness wise, very punctual. Things got to look a certain way. It's got to appear. Shoot. And my Venus is in Virgo. That's hard right there. Because, you know, love ain't got nothing to do with no logic. Love ain't got nothing to do with no damn being on time, being punctual, and everything in order. You know, love is just like creating creativity and just flowing. So I got to drop all of that. I had to drop all of that. And then, you know, the Virgo logic don't like being vulnerable. So vulnerability, for me to even get up here and be able to, I don't need. People be like, "Well, you ain't making nothing. You ain't got a lot." I don't need a lot of followers and all that, because just me being able to be vulnerable, and for me to be able to let my hair down as much as I put up a shell all these years, that's growth. It's growth. That is growth for me, because like nobody has to find any information on me, because I'll tell on myself. I don't care what you think. I'm free. I don't care what you think. You know, my skin, I have a soft heart, but at the same time I got tough skin. You can't just say something to me and it's gonna make me like push my buttons, because I'm gonna come back at you real good now. But no, it ain't gonna. I'm gonna come back at you real good. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna match your energy, but I ain't gonna let you get me out of my element either. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be on some damn Papa Legba type picking shit. Yeah, love is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, but you know, but yeah, having a Venus in Virgo is tough, because it's more, the Virgo is more logic, and love ain't got nothing to do with logic. But me, I love a smart person now. I love a brainy. I'm a person that I'll fall in love with somebody that's really intelligent and this and that. That's attractive to me. It's not your flashy car or your this or your that. If you intelligence, I don't. It's a word for that. It's a word for that. People that'll fall for somebody intelligence and stuff like that. Yeah. Or the creativity. Somebody very creative and intelligent. Yeah. Well, I'm about to get off of here, y'all. I gotta head out and get my supplies. I should have prepped already, but I didn't. I gotta head out soon and get my supplies and stuff. Yeah. Sapiosexual. That's right. Yes, you got it. Sapiosexual. Yeah, the heart is pure. Yeah. Yeah, I be loving. I mean, I think my love be misunderstood, or I be used to love. You can love too deep and too much, and it can be taken wrong. But you know, long as you know that you're coming with a good intent, you don't mean nobody no harm. You know, it'll be all right. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Some people don't know how to love and they don't know how to accept love though. You know, some people if you love them, it make them angry because they don't love themselves. They don't know how to accept love. Yeah. All right, cuz I love you. I'll see you soon. Everybody, thank you for joining in, and everybody be safe in this freeze. Is it supposed to freeze down there in North Carolina too? Let's all meditate that this stuff is not gonna even happen with this weather tampering they doing, because it's not supposed to be cold like this ever. We're supposed to have tropical warm weather all over all the time. Well, this has been my son, Goddess777. And y'all support Maya's Temple Healing and Unconditional Love. Sending protection, healing, bliss, abundance to everyone. And we all awaken together and rise together. And get this going and connect with our dragons. Our dragon mother and the dragons. And going on into the golden age, y'all. Bliss to everyone. Pose girl. What'd you say? Supposedly, girl, it'll do it around. What'll happen? That's right. Direct in nature. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Direct in nature. I don't want no freezing weather. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can. It's been times when I told her to stop raining and stuff. And I was like, no, I don't want this storm to come. And the storm didn't come. I used to do that down there. It was one year we supposed to have a bad tornado or a storm or something. But yeah, we can direct the nature and the weather and stuff. Yes, my roads I travel be clear out. Yes, I say. Catch you later. All right. Vote your instinct. Be safe out there. And let's all just think about the weather, being beautiful. We are protected and blissful and abundant. Everybody, we're gonna be all right. Ground with nature. I need to go out here right now before it get too cold and go ahead and ground. Yeah. Yep. All right, everyone. Y'all be safe. All right. Peace out. This has been MaSunGoddess777.